guys, my name is Michael Rarick with the ABL support team, and today I'm going to walk you through how to safely rig some lights in the lobby. So first we're going to need a couple things. We're going to need a beam clamp that you guys should have at least 10 of if you guys haven't bought a few more for yourself. These should also have a couple of washers, a lock washer, and a 3/8 bolt. The next thing you need to have is a safety. These are the most important things that you need to have. All right, so in order to put this on a light that you're going to install in the lobby, we're going to take this apart first off. And we're going to put that down. We're going to just take one of the washers off to start with. So we're going to keep the lock washer closest to the head of the bolt, and then we're going to keep a washer on top of that lock washer. Now we're going to take the yoke that is attached to the light. So on this specific light, you can see that there's a secondary yoke that is attached to the primary yoke. We want to make sure we're always attached to the yoke that is attached to the light directly. So now we're going to take our 3/8 bolt, go through the hole, and then we're going to put our washer on top of that. Now we're going to take our beam clamp and we're going to thread the bolt into the beam clamp. Now that we've got that on finger tight, you can take a 9/16 wrench or you can take an adjustable wrench, and we're going to tighten this down because as you can see right now, the lock washer is not compressed, right? So there's a little bit of space there. In order for that lock washer to actually do its job, it needs to be fully compressed. So we're going to tighten that down just a couple of turns until we feel like it's good and snug. All right, now that it's good and snug, we're going to straighten that up just a little bit. And now we are ready to go to the beam. So come up with me, we'll grab our safety. I'm going to throw this around my neck just so I don't lose it. There's a couple of things to notate once you get up here. I want you to be aware of every possible place that it looks like you could attach to and which ones you actually can. So if you look over here, you'll see these silver thin pipes. These are actually electrical conduit, and these are not sturdy enough nor safe to rig anything off of. Doesn't matter if it's paper or a light or anything. We cannot use these to rig off of. There's one right above my head as well. Now, right above us, there's another thing. This is a water pipe. So this supplies all the sprinklers in the building. We cannot attach anything to this. If this busts, if there's too much pressure on this and it breaks, you're gonna flood your campus, and that's not a fun thing. So the only place that we recommend that you actually rig anything to are these cross beams. So there's one here, there's one there, there's usually one every 5 or 6 feet. So that's what we're gonna rig on today. One thing to note, if you look up here on top of this cross beam, there's actually a wire, right? So most of these angled bits have some kind of a wire in them. So we just wanna make sure that we are intentionally being aware of what's here, right? Because we do not wanna crush this wire. All right, so with all of that in mind, we're going to go ahead and take our beam clamp and we're gonna go ahead and slide it on, just like that. So from the side, as you push it up, this is what it should look like, right? So we're gonna put our finger in here and we're gonna grab that cable, make sure that we're not pinching it with our bolt here, our set screw, and we're gonna tighten that down. All right, now that that's tight, we can let go of the cable. We can kind of shake that, make sure this is in the right place that you want it. And once you've decided that this is exactly where you want it to be, we're gonna come over here and we're going to give this at least another half turn, if not a full turn. Whatever you can do. Okay, so that's a quarter. And we got about a half a turn there. All right, now this is solid. So a huge benefit to doing this the right way is not only the safety, but it's also the fact that you now have a full range of motion on this light. When you're zip tying this, you usually have to use 2 to 3 zip ties. You can't turn it. It is what it is. Because we were able to do this properly, and we have a washer in between this beam clamp and the yoke, we can actually turn it any which way without this bolt turning at all. Right? So now I want it to be pointing right down here. Perfect. That's exactly where I want it. The last thing that we have to do is we have to make sure that we're safe beyond our safe, right? So right now we have the safest rigging hardware we can right now, but we want to add another layer. So that other layer is the safety. If for some, who knows what reason, that this fails, we have a backup. We always have a backup. That should probably be a core value at Life.Church because we value backups so much. So we're going to take this safety and we're going to go around the yoke. Then we're going to go around the steel all the way, and we're going to clip that on. Now, that's hanging a little low. That looks a little tacky. There are other options. As long as the yoke is wrapped and the steel is wrapped, it really doesn't matter how you put the safety on. So I'm going to show you another option that we like to do. Is sometimes we like to go through the middle of the beam, and we like to do a little bit of a double wrap. So we'll go back through the middle again, and then we'll clip on right there. Now it's not hanging down, it doesn't look ugly. Now, one last thing that I do want to touch is if you're using a moving head, it cannot be a large moving head. With this type of rigging, it's just not safe because moving heads tend to vibrate and they just create an opportunity for these bolts to kind of back out even with the locking nuts in place. So anything bigger than like a Chauvet Intimidator spot or an American DJ spot, we really shouldn't. We need to not hang in the lobby without consulting. If you absolutely have to, you can reach out to our team and we can consult you further and we can help you rig it. Otherwise, anything smaller than those or the size of this guy, totally acceptable, not a big deal. That's pretty much it. Please remember that if you have any questions, any concerns, anything about the lobby, our team is here to help. That's literally why we're hired. So please reach out, let us know. We'll do anything we can to help you.